Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam Kwak here, and welcome back to day 6 of 21 Days of Mental Detox Challenge. Now, you may recognize this shirt because I wore this when I was drugged up and banged up. Now, the reason why I wore this shirt today again, and you might be familiar, this is my painting shirt. So I just got done painting my bathroom. I'll show you guys some pictures later on. So I worked on my bathroom for the wife, of course, and I still got paint on me. There you go. You guys can see that. There you go. Yep. So I got paint on me still. But anyhow, I wanted to make sure that we were doing this video series before I went to bed and taking the break for the weekend. So today's topic is Cornerstone Habits. Now, if you remember from day 5, which was about 2 days ago, day 5, we talked about creating habits, or I'm sorry, we talked about creating habits in general. Now, I totally messed up here because I said day 6. We're actually at day 7. So I'll make sure I change the title after this. But anyways, I'm human too, right? I'm vulnerable to mistakes. So this is technically day 7, guys. I apologize. The one that we did before was day 6. But day 7, Cornerstone Habits. So on those day 7, day 6, see, I'm messing up myself here. So day 6, we talked about building habits, why they're important, how you can pilot yourself into success. Day 7 now, Cornerstone habits are, okay, so what do we change? What habits do we replace, right? Because I know a lot of people I talk to, they tell me, Sam, which habits should I be changing? Like, which habits should I be tackling first to get to the success fastest? So I'm going to talk to you guys about the concept of a cornerstone habit, is because cornerstone habit is if you do this one thing, everything else kind of takes care of it on its own, right? So one cornerstone habit I can mention as an example is waking up early. If you wake up early, right, and let's say you wake up 3 hours earlier than usual, now you got 3 hours to not only work out, which also builds habit for your working out. It also builds habit for you to read. Builds habit for you to meditate or pray. Builds habit for you to do some personal development, reading. So if you don't wake up early, right, and you wake up like say an hour before work, maybe you don't have enough time for you to develop some of those habits that I mentioned just previously. So cornerstone habits are the sources for many other things. So if you do the cornerstone habit right, everything else kind of falls into place, right? So another cornerstone habit that I can think of in terms of business context is talking to customers. Right. I literally know people and their businesses that are afraid of talking to their own customers. Like, they could be doing everything else right, building their website right, making their store look pretty, maybe, making sure that cash register is working fine. All those are great and they're important. But if you don't have customers coming into your store or in your business, or if you're not getting yourself in front of your clients, there's no money, no revenue coming in. So no matter how good your website looks, no matter how good your store looks, it doesn't matter if money doesn't come through. So a cornerstone habit, or more of a cornerstone production in business, is creating revenue through direct contact with your customers and clients. So in real estate sense, your cornerstone production habit should be getting yourself in front of sellers to negotiate with them to buy real estate. Okay, everything else is secondary production activity. So a lot of people, they tell me, well, I'm building my buyers list, right, blah, blah, blah. That's great if you're doing wholesaling for sure. But what's more important is that you got to have the supply. You got to have the sellers willing to sell you property, and you, of course, buying those properties for real estate investing. So it's super duper important that if you don't have the right cornerstone habit in place, everything else kind of falls short. So I'll give you guys an example of waking up early, right? Waking up early not only is healthy in a sense that it's good for hormone and all of that. It's great because if you have 2 hours or 3 hours of extra time, now you can spend those 3 hours reading books, working out, doing some personal development, reading your affirmation, right? Those are all the things that help you become more successful in your business and become a better person in general. Now, we talked about if you become a better person in general, you can also translate that into transforming your business into a better business, right? Because at the end of the day, you are your business, right? I don't care if you have employees. I don't care if you have affiliates, teams, whatever. Okay. If you transform yourself, I'm going to tell you right now, you will transform your business. The way that you think, your mindset, your paradigm, right? When you have a paradigm shift, you're also going to take your business to the whole next level. So for me, I didn't start breaking into the 6 figures range of income until I knew, right, what I knew in here, and the way that I thought, the way that I saw the world, the outlook of life was worth 6 figures, right? So you get paid for the value that you create. So if you don't have the habit of creating value in the world, right, don't expect to have 6-figure income. So this is why I'm talking about the Cornerstone Habits, guys. This isn't just, pretty rainbows and pretty colors and being, hokey about personal development. I'm being really serious about success. Sorry, I just got distracted because there was a huge flash of lightning. There's a window right here. So there it is. There's the thunder. I don't know if you guys heard that. But yeah, we're having a major thunderstorm. So anyway, guys, go through your life and ask yourself, so what is a habit, cornerstone habit for me, right? So if you're talking about spiritual wellness, so I'm a Christian guy, I'm a Christian male. So for me, my cornerstone habit when it comes to my spiritual life is prayer and reading the Bible, right? I do those 2 things, and I know I can take care of my spiritual well-being. And from there, I can grow out to serving other people, volunteering, helping other people, giving, right? All those things, they stem from prayer and Bible. So I'm talking more of the spiritual context. If you're talking about relationship, start asking questions there. So if you're married, if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you ask yourself a question: what is a cornerstone habit or cornerstone activity that's going to take care of my relationship with my spouse or my loved ones, making sure that everything else kind of falls into its place. So this kind of goes back to the whole idea of 80-20 rule, right? For the Pareto principle, right? So 80-20 rule basically is that out of all the results that you want, right? All the results you want, let's say it's more money, right? More customers. Usually it's 20% of the things that you do that creates 80% of the result. Meaning the few things that you work on, right? There are only few things in life that are really, really important that creates 80% of the results in your life. The 80% of things that you do in your life are not so important, right? Going back to the business example, in an 80-20 concept, 20% of things that you should be doing is you engaging with your customers, marketing, sales, making sure your customers are paying and you bringing in revenue, right? The other 80% of the things that you might be spending more time that you should be spending less time on is making your store look pretty, your website look pretty. I mean, those are important. I'll tell you what, those are, I mean, it still makes up 100% if you add both of those together. But in a business sense, what's really, really important is making sure that you have customers and clients bring in the money, right, moolah, into your bank account. So that's super important. Another thing I can share with you guys in the same context of Cornerstone Habits is also, if you look at your daily life, really examine what goes on, right? Be very viciously, cautiously, and carefully examine where you're spending most of your time, right? If you did an audit, if you did a test on yourself to see, okay, where do I spend most of my time? And if you spend most of your time on not so important things, it is time for us to start focusing on those cornerstone activities and cornerstone habits that if they are taken care of, everything falls into place. Cool. So ask yourself this question before we end it tonight. I know it's a little shorter than usual, but ask yourself this question: what are some of the key cornerstone habits and activities that I got to be doing to make sure that my life is getting taken care of? And I'm not talking about just money. I'm not talking about just business, but I'm also talking about your spiritual life. I'm also talking about your relationships. I'm talking about your general happiness, your overall growth as a person. Those are more important, I think, than just money, right? Even health, right? Working out. What are the cornerstone workouts that I could be doing that are going to make me healthy, right? What are the few things I got to be doing that makes me more healthier every day, right? Because health is very important. And I realized that when I got these really nasty stitches, right? And when I went to the ER, I'm like, okay, health is pretty important. Without the body, without taking care of myself and my well-being, nothing else will ever feel like you're getting things done, right? No matter how much money you have, if you have cancer and you're on your way to dying, money doesn't really matter, right? It's about health and making sure you take care of yourself. So guys, examine your life, just as Aristotle said, right? Aristotle said, examine everything in your life. And Jesus Christ also said the same thing, if you look at the Bible, right? So guys, that's it for tonight. I'm going to sign out. I know it's Saturday night, so I know a lot of you guys are having fun, spending time with your family. So thanks for tuning in. If you guys are watching this on a later date or on a recording, definitely stay tuned because we got, let's see, 14 more days to go in this series. And tomorrow, day 8, I'm actually flying out to San Antonio, so I may or may not be able to do this, but we're going to talk about how do we create success in our brain first before we create it out here. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night, guys. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. I'll see you guys in another night. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.